Don't stand so, don't stand so, don't stand so close to me. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the bar. We're going to keep it green for, of course, this is going to be an early St. Patrick's Day. Happy early St. Patrick's Day to you. And for those of you who've been going to the supermarket and hoarding toilet paper, water, and any other goods for the fuck of it, I've got two hands for you. Because let me tell you something, when you're overstocking, I mean, it's not like a tornado is going to hit. We're not having a tornado in California, as far as California is concerned. There's no tornadoes coming, and there's no hurricanes for California. You fuckers are hoarding the shopping carts, because I went to Albertsons in my area. You motherfuckers thought you were clever. If the virus comes, virus is coming, not a goddamn thing you can do about it. No toilet paper or bottled water is going to save your ass, okay? So be considerate, be kind, be generous to other people who have less than you. And don't go on Twitter and DM for rates on toilet paper. Don't be a shithead, okay? I called one person out, and she turned it into a joke, but I knew she wasn't joking. All right, so enough of that. St. Patrick's Day is coming, and I have something, but of course you've already seen it. Fake beer, I don't drink. Now, when it's St. Patrick's Day, we drink. I would drink for real, but, you know, I take care of myself mostly. Having had hepatitis C, not having it anymore, it's kind of trying to not really go into a habit of drinking. So we're going to just stick to one topic, keep it very simple today. So what drives us to drink? This is Tru.F.Lo.S number 12, not 13, as I said before. A lot of things. Being alone. At this time, this coronavirus will drive a lot of people to drink. They'll say, well, fuck it, it's the end of the world. I might as well get drunk, get wasted, kill myself that way faster than any virus can. It's loneliness, it's isolation. But I lived in that coronavirus life for decades. I think any true force loneliness person has lived the coronavirus life for years, maybe drinking coronas. And you'll definitely drink on St. Patrick's Day. Cheers. Tap the glass. So it's really, it's a trying time for all of us. Now, what drives us to drink? Loneliness, not having someone in our life, not having a female, for those of you who are gay, not having a male, not having your best friends around you, not having your family of friends, or even good family members, not having good contact with people. Now, we have now isolated a lot of large crowd events. So Dana White, good on him, he's going to do the UFC events in a limited capacity. NBA's been canceled. Maybe the NFL will be canceled, maybe not. NHL, maybe that'll be canceled. Arena football, who knows? The Olympics, who knows about that? I think the Olympics is still going on, isn't it? No, it's the Summer Olympics. It's the Summer Olympics, I think, for Tokyo. Let's hope that works out. A lot of movies are being postponed. Wonder Woman 84 is still going on. So what drives us to drink is the fact that we get frustrated. Well, I think, you know, besides being alone, is never having that love to begin with, so we drink. Some people will find reasons to drink. I have just one finger, maybe not two. Because I understand some people, I think James Woods explained it best that there were some people who are suicidal when they drink, so it's not a laughing matter. But I would say to James Woods, that's right, but also too, there are people who will find stupid reasons to drink and abuse their children. Now, who was that abused child? Me. So let's go back to summer 1993, the last time my dad drank. My dad would drink for all kinds of reasons. Now, if you watched the 7 links to my life story, there was a Tom Likas link about his dad drinking too much and driving home on the freeway. That's parallel. There was a reason I posted that link. There's a parallel to my life. Now, when my dad drank during my sister's graduation ceremony, he was angry as hell. Okay, for whatever reason, either my sister Marlo rest her soul, my sister Marlo committed suicide allegedly years ago in 2010. Um, and maybe I could talk about that later because it's the 10th anniversary. But when he drank, he fell over and knocked himself into like a table. I don't remember much. My brother and I think my brother was still alive or he was in the hospital. And my dad had to be taken home because he embarrassed us in public. Oh, by the way, don't touch your face because you have to remember the 5, wash your hands, cough into your elbow. So much for that. But I'm taking a shower tonight, so whatever. Anyway, so when we went home on the freeway back in 1987, 1986, 1987, my dad was going to drive us home, and my mom was crying her eyes out, and she did not want my dad to drive us home. So she drove us home. And my dad was swearing, saying, "You motherfucking, fucking goddamn things, these fucking things all the time, man, motherfucking things." And he was going on and on and on. Now, I was about 8 or 9 years old, okay? And my mom was crying. He could have taken the wheel. He could have done anything in anger to retaliate against my mom driving. I thought I was going to fucking die that night. Now, my sisters would roll up their eyes like, "Oh, he wouldn't have done anything. Oh, that's just the way he was." You try telling that to an 8-year-old child in 1986, 1987. When I was 8 or, I think I was 9 years old. No, I was 9 in 1987. But you try telling a child that everything's fine when your dad is yelling and swearing in the passenger seat, being told that he can't drive drunk home on the freeway, and your mom feels like a gun to her head driving home. And so that same thing happened in 1993 where he bought booze and didn't tell my mom about it. Well, there's none of your business. None of your business what that is. Doesn't that sound like Tom Leykis' dad? Shut up, right? So my dad drank when we went to so my dad collected guns, okay? He liked to collect guns. And so when he did that, he would make my sisters go on rifle tournaments and go to the rifle range when I was a babe, before I was even born. And when I was 15, he took me to the rifle range for the 3rd or 4th time. He took me to the rifle range, I think, when I was 13 or 14 years old. But he was trying to make it a habit where he would take me to the rifle range to go shoot. He bought me a revolver so that I would practice shooting with him. I still don't like guns. I don't think guns are the answers to everything. I'm not fucking Rosie O'Donnell. We have a right to have firearms. I support Tom Selleck's side of the whole thing. But, it's not for me. Guns are not for everyone, okay? And yeah, gun control and stuff, but, what are we going to do? So my dad took me to the rifle range to go shoot, and I did my best. I wasn't into it. My heart wasn't in it. But I did what I could, and he wasn't happy with it. So he wasn't happy with it to the point where he's like, "Oh, you don't give a shit. You don't care." Like on the way home, he was sober, and he was like, "Well, you don't care, do you? You don't give a shit, do you? You don't really like this, do you? You don't like this kind of thing. You really are a piece of work. One of these days, this and that and this, and you don't do well in school. One of these days, and he, kind of, he wasn't going to hit me at that point, but, his fists were clenching. He was ready to do something. I mean, you pissed him off, he would do something, okay? So my dad was like a boiling pot ready to explode, okay? So we went home. About a couple of hours later, he went for his secret booze that he got mad at my mom for my mom noticing the booze, drank tequila, and told me to go to the back house where he would have his dusty old books. I mean, his back house was going to be a rec room, like a pool table and pinball table and a knitting room. It turned into a mess. It was a rat-infested cement dust, chalk dust-filled room with old history books, guns and cameras and classical music. And that's where he could take his abuse out on me. You think you knew what abuse was? That's what I went. And so he got angry at me. He yelled at me because I wasn't shooting the targets right at the rifle range. And he slapped me twice because I wasn't answering him back the way he needed to be answered back. So it was the master nigger, Hitler, kike sort of relationship where I was the kike. I was the black nigger. I was the Mexican wetback by conquistador, the slap of the hand. And he even took an empty revolver and pointed at it and cocked the hammer and pointed and shot 3 times. My mom doesn't know this. I didn't tell my mom this part, but he did that kind of thing. And maybe he did that to my sisters, to be fair. So then the next day, I was terrified as fuck. And, you know, my dad apologized to me, but only because my mom had to say something to him. So, oh, your mother told me that there were things that I did wrong. So what does that mean? So my feeling is that my mom threatened to divorce my dad if he didn't stop drinking. So he stopped drinking. He would drink Pepsis and orange juice instead of drinking booze. And he would smoke cigars. That was it. So the whole point of this story is that you need to learn to pick your battles. And it's very easy for some of you who are no longer true forced loneliness, who have been in bad relationships, who have kids. It's not the kid's fault, okay? It's your fucking fault. If you have kids because you were in a bad relationship with a female, you fucked up. Don't drag your kids. Look at Gabriel Fernandez. Go look him up. Gabriel Fernandez in California. He's dead now. And his parents, his mom and his stepdad are in prison. Good. Kill them. They don't need to live. They don't. Execute them. Let the state execute them. We'll pay for that. I'll pay for that out of my pocket. Let them be executed. That child was 6 years old. What did he have? You know? So let's try to think of, when we think of St. Patrick's Day and drinking, let's drink responsibly. Let's have good luck on our side, especially with all that's going on. Some people don't. They touch their face. Some people don't cough into their elbow. They don't wash their hands. They don't stay home. But let's do our best. I'm still volunteering at my library. We haven't had any closeouts yet. If we do, I'll be spending more time at home, I guess. Maybe I'll make more videos. So let's do a last call. And since it is still St. Patrick's Day, we'll keep it green. All right. So last call will be one of my favorite. This is my favorite Green Lantern story since it is green. It's Earth One. I have it reviewed. I'll probably give you the link in the description below. Great book. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's made by the same people who made Star Wars Legacy with the daughter, the great granddaughter of Han Solo and Princess Leia, and it's really more of an odyssey of going through outer space. It doesn't have that sort of Luke Skywalker, young, naive, like what was done in Emerald Dawn. So this is not Emerald Dawn, but this is something really good that I think is worth the read. The second book is coming out in June, I think, along with Wonder Woman 84 coming out in theaters. So really take a look at this book. I liked it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And so with that, so I'll give you the link in the description below for this book. I think it's about $18. So with that, the bar will be closed, but since it's St. Patrick's Day, we have a green light here. And I'm going to play a little bit of a certain song that has to do with green. See if I can do this right. It's much simpler notes than playing that other song I played last week. So let's try this.